Take 45. Oh, didn't see you there. Well, hello, partner. It's been a while. How these YouTube streets been treating you? Oh, me? I was just thinking about how it's my birthday month, this month, September. And was wondering if you'd be interested in supporting my birthday by purchasing my very first published book, Explore, Embrace, Express 100 Dance Prompts to help explore, embrace, and express your creativity through movement. So yes, it is my birthday month this month. And if you would like to support me, support the channel in any way, shape, or form, you can get one of these on Amazon on your Kindle, your ebook reader, or of course a print version that allows you space to write in the actual book. That being said, I'm actually here today to review this book, which is The Artist's Way. This is the 25th anniversary edition. And so I thought I would give it a little review to let you know, if I didn't already have it, knowing what I know, would I purchase or would I pass? So, first thing I want to say about this book is it's very well constructed. It's not a hardcover, but the soft cover is really nice quality. It's not going to rip or bend easily. I do also enjoy about this book that it does break things up a little with these kind of little sections here with questions or prompts. So it isn't just page after page of these big blocks of text. So for those of you who do not know what this book is about, The Artist's Way is this seminal book on the subject of creativity. An international bestseller, it has inspired millions to overcome the limiting beliefs and fears that can inhibit the creative process. Fear, doubt, worry about what people will think, comparison. These are all things that sometimes keep us from even getting our feet off the ground with our creative projects. And other times is the reason we don't finish them. Or in my case, you work really freaking hard to create a book and to figure out how to publish it and all that. And then you don't promote it because you're thinking, maybe it's not as good as this book, or maybe it's not as good as this person, or, you know, all these different scenarios start popping up and kind of like bringing you back to this low level, you know, where you are questioning yourself and your abilities and your creative capabilities. So I do enjoy about this book that it does kind of help tackle some of the very common walls that creatives run up against. Perhaps even more vital in today's cultural climate than when it was first published 25 years ago, it's a powerfully provocative and inspiring work. It takes readers on an amazing 12-week journey to discover the link between their spiritual and creative selves. So it is a 12-week program. However, it is a book. So that means you can go at your own pace. If 12 weeks doesn't cut it for you, maybe you need 24 weeks. So be it. That's the beauty of having all the information tucked away nicely in one book. So if you have to skip a week, or maybe you're having a great week, lots of energy, and you want to do multiple things that week, it may take you less than 12 weeks. It may take you more, but at least you have some level of a timeline. An introduction. So this includes an introduction to 2 of Cameron's most vital tools for creative recovery. So that's something they talk about through the book, is creative recovery. The morning pages and the artist date. So there are 2 things you're asked to do in this book, I mean, there's more than two, but two really vital components to the Artist's Way. And one of them is morning pages, where you write free flow every single morning. Whatever comes up, comes up. There is no right or wrong thing to write about. I haven't done my morning pages in months now, but I was doing really well. And I did actually find it helpful in the morning to take some time just to write about whatever was on my mind, good or bad, whether I was really excited about the day or really worried about what was coming up for the day. Getting all that off my brain freed up a lot of mental space for other things. So I do agree the morning pages are helpful. And if you don't like to write, some people hate which you probably do like to write if you're on this channel, but if you don't, because I know some people don't like the physical act of writing or typing things up, you can actually just record yourself on a video. You can just use voice notes to just brain dump all the things that are on your mind, so you can go into your day with a clear head, just knowing that these things are off your mind, or at least that you've put them down somewhere. So hundreds of highly effective exercises and activities. So hundreds of highly effective exercises and activities, which I don't mind sharing with you. It's something I really enjoy about a book, a nonfiction book that has actual activities and isn't just kind of lecturing you. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy when there's self-exploration questions to answer, when there's actionable tasks that I can participate in. I enjoy that very much. So, and guidance on starting a creative cluster of fellow artists who will support you in your creative endeavors, you know, like right over here. If you have a creative project that you would like me to check out, drop it in the comments. Let me know how I can check out your stuff. And I'd be more than happy to go over and give it a gander, give you some support. So this is a revolutionary program for artistic renewal from the world's famous authority on the creative process. It's a life-changing book. And I believe if you put what you learn into practice and you stay consistent with it, it can be life-changing. I know for myself, I started off strong. Then I got really wrapped up in trying to figure out how to publish my first book, which, just a reminder, first book. So I kind of did fall off a little bit, but now with winter kind of, you know, fall and winter around the corner, for me, this is a time to really come in and get creative. I am much more in a creative state of mind when it's cooler out and I'm not sweating my ass off every day. So a couple of quick things I want to read from the book. Oh, we're doing not bad on time. So some things I'm going to read say, stop telling yourself it's too late. It's definitely not too late. I literally just published my first book in July and I'm over 40. Don't let the outside world, and certainly don't let yourself convince yourself that you're too old, too young, too this, too that, to do the thing. Because I guarantee you there are people who are older than you, younger than you, broker than you, who don't have as many resources as you, who are doing the thing or who have done the thing. Stop waiting until you make enough money to do something you'd really love. I had to spend money out of my own pocket to create this book. Self-publishing costs money. And because I don't have some huge following, I didn't have hundreds of people lined up to buy my book, which means at this point, I've actually lost money. It cost me almost $200 to publish the book. And I've made $87 back. Granted, I'm selling through KDP, which means I get like $3 per copy of a $20 book. So you got to sell quite a lot of books to even make $87. But yes, again, if you let excuses win, excuses will win and your creativity will lose out. Stop telling yourself it's just my ego whenever you yearn for a more creative life. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm trying not to swear. I'm gonna swear. My channel's not monetized, so fuck it. Okay. Who cares if it's your fucking ego? Who cares? We all have an ego. Why do we have to pretend we don't or make it seem like it's a bad thing to have an ego? It's not. It's just part of human nature. The only time it becomes a problem is when you let your ego become so inflated that you basically shit on other people because you think you're better than them. So if that's not the case, who gives a fuck if it's your ego driving your desire to create something? As long as your process of creation doesn't include putting other people down or feeling like you're better than them. Stop telling yourself that dreams don't matter, that they're only dreams, and that you should be more sensible. Fuck that. Stop fearing that your family and friends would think you're crazy. Who cares? They're crazy too. Maybe just in a different way. So next. Stop telling yourself that creativity is a luxury and that you should be grateful for what you've got. Listen, creativity is a luxury in a way, yes. The more resources you have at your disposal, the more energy you have, which is not something to be taken for granted. Lots of people have medical issues and other issues that cause them to be low energy. That is a luxury to a point. Having the money to buy, whether it's books about creativity, whether it's canvas and paint, whether it's to be able to self-publish, is a certain level of luxury. However, I was creating things when I was a child with nothing more than like mud to play with in the yard, creating pies and, using my imagination to create things with whatever I could find, little scraps of paper, I used to create with just a piece of paper and a pen, draw for hours. I think if you really want to be creative, you will take the resources you do have and make it fucking work. I'm extremely tired today. Did I feel like filming? Absolutely not. Do I feel like working on writing after this? No. But am I filming anyway? Uh-huh. Am I going to write later anyway? Yes. Because I'm coming back to the excuses thing. I'm not going to let the excuse of, oh, I'm tired, I don't really feel like it. Those are not going to win. So like today, if I had more energy, perhaps I could film a whole series of videos while I've got the light set up and everything else. But I'm just going to film until I feel like that's enough for today. And the same thing with writing. I'm not going to skip it all together and be like, oh, I don't feel 100%, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do what I can do today within reason. And you should be grateful for what you have. There's nothing wrong with that. So it gets into the morning pages, talking about don't censor yourself. There's quite a lot here to cover. I'll just leave it at the fact you are encouraged to write or get whatever's on your mind off your mind by writing it down or talking about it or meditating on it or whatever works for you as early in the day as possible so you don't drag it with you all day long. So there's a little contract here. Okay, so it has a place for you to put your name and the date, which I really like. So the contract says, I, filling with your name, understand that I am undertaking an intensive, guided encounter with my own creativity. I commit myself to the 12-week duration of the course. I, your name, commit to weekly reading, daily morning pages, a weekly artist date, and the fulfillment of each week's task. Again, you may have a week or two that you have to skip for whatever reason. That's okay. It's just about trying to give you something consistent to work on for a certain duration of time. So yes, do your best to do this weekly, mornings, whatever it is that it's asking you to do. But don't feel like, oh, if I can't commit every single week for 12 weeks, I shouldn't do this. You just do what you can. So this is, the next chapter talks about feeling safe and protecting the artist child within, because we're all born creative, I feel. And it's not until life kind of beats it out of us and tells us that it's not the sensible thing to pursue, or that it's, that it's not good enough. Things like that. Most people, I think, as children, have some level of creativity. They're using their imagination, or they're drawing on walls, or, they're really tapped into that side of themselves, generally like children and young people, but either because of their families or outside societal things, cultural things, sometimes even based on gender. If you're a man, a male, a young boy, whatever it is, you're often told things like, dancing's for girls, drawing, painting, that's for girls. And of course, that's total bullshit. Because if you're a human being, regardless of your gender, you have in you this creative spark that wants to be witnessed, wants to be honored, wants to be brought to life. And I think it's sad that some people have that crushed out of them. Maybe you as a kid, you turned in your creative projects to your parents and they just threw them away or made fun of them, or just, made it seem like it was no big deal. Or maybe you got to a certain age and were basically taught that at this point, you got to put away your imagination, put away your creativity, and just, focus on adult grown-up things. But there is a certain part of you, I feel like, that dies off if you don't nurture it, that creative side, that side that is imaginative. And it kills me when people say, well, I'm not creative. I don't believe you. I think you've been taught that you're not creative, or convinced yourself you're not creative. That I can believe. But do I believe you don't have a single creative iota, one single cell of creativity in your body? No, I don't. And I think sometimes people put creativity into too narrow of a box, where it's like, oh, if you're not painting, writing, dancing, or doing photography, basically all my 4 top things, then you're not creative. If you're designing fashion, you're creative. If you're coming up with cool new recipes, you're creative. If you're an interior designer or you like to decorate, you're creative. I mean, there's a million ways to express and embrace creativity, I was going to say, did magic just happen and my book just disappeared? To explore, embrace, and express your creativity in whatever way calls to you. Okay, so this video is getting pretty long, so I'm actually going to make a part 2 rather than continue this video. So if you would like to dive a little deeper into the Artist's Way and a little conversation around it, check out my next video, which I'm going to be filming right now. Also, thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all the YouTube things. And of course, as always, thank you sincerely. Let me look you in the eye. Thank you sincerely for spending your time with me. I truly do appreciate that. Until next time, take care and nurture your creativity.